This college basketball picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Game Time, your home for the lowest price last minute tickets. Download the Game Time app today and use promo code SGPN for $20 off. We're also ready by Underdog Fantasy. Sign up today using promo code SGPN and then go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/dog to enter our bonus contest. 5 winners will receive shirts, hats, and a $50 SGPN gift card. We're also ready by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today.
What's up? It's the most must-see WWE superstar of all time, The Miz, and you are watching SGPN, and it is awesome. Let it ride.
One of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Big ups to all our people out there, Sean.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't. You all of a sudden you sound like Biggie Smalls.
I'm just saying big ups.
Okay, big ups. What does that mean? I'm not as hip hop as you are. Right?
It doesn't mean anything.
Oh, okay.
What are you trying to say, Sean? I'm just saying hello to people.
Okay.
Jesus.
Ryan's been super angry. I don't know why.
Angry? What do you mean?
Look at me.
I was just saying hi to some people.
All right. If you think Ryan is angry, feel free to activate in the chat. All right.
You would like that, wouldn't you? You and your chat buddies can hang out.
No, definitely don't sound angry.
your own
I don't know.
fucking
I don't
show.
know where I was getting that
You
from.
in the chat. Well, they can spit on it too while they're at it.
All right. Show's gotten off to a weird start, but we are here talking college basketball picks. Joining us here to talk college basketball, you know him from the College Basketball Experience, Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
I'm just enjoying that fantastic. It looked like Normandy last night. There was a lot of storming. There was a lot of storming, and what a great college basketball night. I'm getting a little bit of echo too.
Oh, is Colby hitting echo? That might have been my fault.
Okay,
I'm not mad at Colby. Just you.
Just me?
Yeah.
Why are you mad at me?
I was just trying to say hi to people.
Oh, okay.
Ruining the start of the show. Big ups to everyone out there. Hey, Colby, big ups to you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. And how about that college basketball slate last night? I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch the games. Unbelievable slate. It was my mother's last night here in LA, and I had to say, Mom, I want to talk to you some, but look, LSU Kentucky's on. This is a great SoCon matchup. We had the Penn State Storm, George Mason storming.
All justified stormings. And if you've been checking out, we are doing we have a best bets playlist over on YouTube. LSU as a home dog was one of my best bets, catching the points. Didn't really need it, but the way that game came down, he got blocked and then he threw it up to the other guy, caught it midair and put it back in with time. And then the way the Penn State game ended, that was crazy. Of course, Penn State, massive dog, LSU, massive dog, both justified stormings in my opinion.
Big of
George Mason. George Mason was justified.
Big dog. Yeah.
What, 2.5 points, right?
Did you hear the chant that broke out on the court? They just started chanting for
start
football.
Your football program. Yeah, that's what the people want. I know exactly. George Mason needs to address this. Their athletic director. Well, I guess Brad Edwards, I think, retired, but he was a former Washington Redskins safety. Played at South Carolina. Darryl Green, the Redskin great. This is a perfect opportunity. He was the assistant athletic director. Why are you not having football at a school that large in a town that football deprived because they got rid of the Redskins? Just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Do we have a shirt, right?
We do. It sells hot, by the way.
And I assume
flying off the shelf,
where all the proceeds are sent to lobby for football at George Mason, AKA we're going to send Colby there for a weekend with a couple pieces of poster board. He'll get the job done.
And by the way, did you guys see? Maybe Rick Pitino's a genius. I think we should retract our statements about Rick Pitino. Yeah, because I know we were talking. I was like, yeah, he's so out of touch. He's bringing up the facilities. No, the press didn't even bring up the facilities. Their NIL collective sucks, and he's saying all this. Well, maybe he was playing chess and we were playing checkers, because he got a billionaire. Basically gave them a shit ton of money over the past 24 hours, I think. Maybe he's a genius, and they need to bring back their football program too.
Yeah, basically his rant ended up inspiring some donations to the school. So yeah, to your point, Colby, maybe he's playing 4D chess.
Yeah. I mean, well played. Look, I'm just an idiot over here. Well played.
Wow. I feel like it's a microcosm for the world. Whining gets your way. I mean, it's that I don't know.
Rick Pitino, the ultimate millennial, sound off in the comments.
I mean, this guy. First of all, I do think it still potentially hurts you with the players, like in the modern player.
Oh yeah.
Because the modern player builds a scouting report on you, just like you build a scouting report on them.
Patino's always thinking ahead, though. You remember that waitress he had sex with? He had an assistant. He had an assistant marry her so she couldn't testify against him.
That's next level. And I wish
that's very mob like.
Yeah,
I wish we could find employees as loyal as Rick Pitino. I mean, Colby, do you think? I mean, is the Creighton? Are we going to be breaking that game down? You must have added the Creighton St. John's game to the slate.
I did not.
Oh wow!
Look, it was a tough dude. I was going to do a 30. Look, I was thinking about. You want to do every game? You guys want to do every game? We can do every game.
Let's pick a game to pull off here.
Well, as we go through, Sean, we'll find it. We'll find a way.
I'm sure there'll be one where we can slide in old Rick Pitino, who knows a thing or two about sliding in.
When to come.
It will. I have a feeling it will be very clear and evident when we can make the swap. We'll call it.
Just remember, you need diversity, buddy. You can't just load up all Big East. What you're like the fucking Big Ten and SEC now. Just trying to hey, we want 4 auto bids each to the 12-team playoff. All right. No. We like diversity. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. I'm just, we'll call it the 30-second timeout in honor of Rick Pitino. 30-second swap.
Hey, maybe you want to see Rick Pitino live and in person. You can do that with Game Time. Go to gametime.co or download the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app, use the promo code SGPN, get $20 off your first purchase with Game Time. And again, Game Time, it's not just sports, concerts, comedy, theater, whatever it is you want to go see live, Game Time has you covered. Use the promo code SGPN and get $20 off when you sign up. I mean, perfect for college basketball. If you plan on storming a court and you're not using Game Time, you need Game Time so you can see your storm path, because you get to see where you sit. It is, I mean, I used it when I saw Eagles Rams game. Highly recommend it. GameTime.co or download the Game Time app. Use the promo code SGPN.
All right. I think whatever we have to come up with a name for the Colby head Sean body monster. Whatever, then we will figure that out. That's your assignment. Colby, also grow some facial hair. You up close.
I shaved it all. Buddy.
I know, but you up close without the facial hair is off-putting.
You blame Steve Alford every time Steve Alford wins on a game. I bet on Steve Alford. I have to shave. Much like your mustache bet, buddy.
Now, Ryan, what do you got going on? It's like you've grown the beard out, but the mustache is still hanging on. Are you planning on doing any sort of personal grooming?
I mean, you know how it works. Eventually, I'll get around to shaving the head and the beard at the same time, and then the mustache will just come down to the same level.
Okay,
it's an efficiency play.
All right.
Also, I again been noticing the looks from all people, no sort of bias, men or women, but they all seem intrigued by what's going on here. Why is it longer around the mustache? But it does look like a beard. I'm confused. Come in for a closer look. I dare you. All right. Sorry, I'm also currently mixing it up on social media.
Who are you mixing it up with?
So I fire up the X app this morning. And as you know, Sean, I very rarely reply to anything or am terribly active on social, but it comes in short bursts. And I see some post by Chelsea Messinger, she BetMGM maybe.
Yep, know her.
Has a post. I hate leftovers. Is that elitist? The only leftovers worth eating / reheating is pizza, pasta, which I agree with, desserts, and that's it. Which obviously, what the fuck is this? Like, are you just throwing food out left and right? So for whatever reason, I felt the need to reply. To which I said,
"Yeah, wow, really scorching take."
No idea why I was doing this, other than it seemed like it was an intriguing thing for me to get into. I've been getting into some capers lately. Been really enjoying the internet. I don't know what happened. I say
you came at her with a flamethrower.
Sign of someone who spends a fuck ton of money on food. Accurate statement. I mean, if you're not ever eating leftovers, you're definitely spending a ton of money on food. Probably doesn't cook. Okay, again, if you're not eating leftovers, that's a sign you're not often cooking. Colby's nodding his head. I see. Doesn't have a fat.
I love cooking, but I do believe in the leftover world.
Yeah, you eat leftovers because you're a blue collar guy. Doesn't have a family, aka I need to prepare food in bulk. Not elitist, just most likely wasteful. I even gave her the probability angle, most likely wasteful. And she just chirped back at me. So pointing out she does have a family. Okay. She cooks every night. Sorry, I didn't realize she was also a precision cooker and never had any extra food for leftovers.
I just wonder why this of all things.
If
would
you have
fire
kids
you up.
and you know exactly how much food to cook for your kids, fuck you. You're lying. Do you want to talk about variance? Variance is what probably also what she says about her losing bets, but. So I got caught up in a little bit of a storm here. So now I'm getting these thirst trap defenders coming after me. Leave her alone. Okay, dude, get out of my DMs. Anyway, let's talk about college basketball.
Let's do it.
It is weird to slide into another dude's DMs defending someone that you follow on social media.
White
right?
knighting it, I think they call it.
What is the? Do they then
chivalry's not dead? Right?
Do they then screenshot it and send it back to her? So I should be
simp.
I should be extra mean. So he seems like a real tough guy, right?
I guess.
Houston heads to Waco, Texas. Waco and Kevorkian, two names that just invoke bad memories. I brought this up, but there's someone named Kevorkian running for local government, and it just seems like maybe just go with K, just shorten it.
Dr. K.
Just do something that isn't Kevorkian. I mean, people remember. Houston heads to Waco, Texas to take on Baylor. How we feeling about Baylor, Colby? Houston laying 5. I assume these are Prick Dundee, or are these real?
I'm sorry, I'm on Storm Watch. We got a Category 5 coming into Waco. Lock up the churches. Don't let anybody in. Come on, Baylor. This is a great spot for Baylor. Houston's been just 2 huge games back to back. I know Baylor's got Langston Love out, who's a very good player for them, but this is the spot, man. Baylor's 13-1 at home at that new arena, the Foster Pavilion there in Waco. And I think this is a great spot for them to storm the court. So get ready, Green, buckle up. Is this approved by you stacking the honey?
Oh yeah, as an underdog.
They just came to the conference. Like, they're the little guy coming from the little conference, coming up to the big bad Big 12, and you're going to storm the court when you beat them at home. I don't approve this storm. Really? I understand it. I don't approve it.
I mean, they're number 2 in the nation.
Yeah, Houston's number 2 in the nation.
Don't care.
You're coming to your home. They're telling you
if
you're
JMU
a home dog.
came to Virginia Tech and was ranked in football, and Virginia Tech rushed the fucking field, I'd have a massive problem with that. You know what?
But why though? JMU is the superior school. They beat them in baseball last night. They beat him in football
guys,
the last time they played.
Season? Are we going on the field in Boulder again, guys? That was fun. That was fun, bro. Fuck off, Colby. They're not better.
What happened the last time you guys played?
It doesn't matter. I'm looking forward, and I am holding a 500-1 ticket on Virginia Tech to win the national championship next year. Thank you very much. In this case, Houston did leave a little to be desired in the last matchup. They didn't get the cover by a couple points, unfortunately, which means they're due. But I also kind of agree with Colby. This is,
I mean, this is the only time Houston has really struggled on the road. You know, at Kansas, where they were also a road favorite. Kansas got it done at TCU, at Iowa State. So I mean, that's the only time they struggle. 5 points is plenty for me to take Baylor here as the home dog.
They're 4-3 on the road. I mean, so I actually think this is a money line play too, because they're barely above 500. And Baylor certainly is good enough. I mean, they're number 11. This isn't them playing Cincinnati here. So look, I think Baylor, the way they shoot the three, the home crowd behind them, the fact that they play at a much faster pace than Houston, can all present challenges for the Cougs.
Yeah.
The fact that the Cougs have won 4 in a row too. I love that angle for Baylor.
And Houston 68.2% from the line. Baylor 73.3. So you're getting nice 5 percentage points on top of being a home dog and hitting your threes all over Baylor. Kramer, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think this is it's not the worst matchup for Baylor on offense. So yeah, I'm with you. I think the crowd.
Wow, Kramer is a dog. Huh?
Crowd. Well, I don't want to say wrong team favored, but I don't agree with the court storm. Even though I'm wearing my court storming glasses, I'm not approving this court storm. Come on, guys. They're the new team. They're the small little new team in the conference. I don't care what their ranking is. Duke heads to Wake Forest, Winston-Salem. Sorry, that last game was 9 a.m. This is now 11 a.m. on the West Coast. Duke catching a point on the road here. What is this all about, Colby? Wrong team almost certainly favored, or wrong team. Yeah, wrong team favored.
I mean, yes. I mean, once again, you're having a hard time going through with this storm going on.
Now this, come on, you can't storm if you're Wake. Come on, that's
what
crazy.
do you mean? It's Duke. They're Wake's
You're
14-0 at
favored.
home. You get a
favored.
top 10 team. You get a top 10 Duke team. Do you know how much money Duke spends on basketball that Wake doesn't? You storm and you storm hard. All right. This is a little Carolina, little category 4. I'll say category 4. But anyway, yeah. Give me Wake at home. Duke, nice win at Miami. I was surprised that Miami. Well, I guess I wish I would have known Miami didn't play a couple key players. But I think it catches up to them here. If Wake wins this game, they punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. That is the main reason why I think they win this. They're going to make it. 14-0 at home. The fact that Duke beat them earlier in the year, and really like Duke has had some issues on the road this year. They've had a couple losses on the road this year, and to me, that's where you're going to catch them. You're not going to catch them in Cameron Indoor. So I'll take the Demon Deeks at home.
Yeah, I mean this one's tough because I mean Duke looks dialed in. They have won back-to-back road games, but this would actually be their third road game. To Colby's point, even though they are the only what are they? They're a 1 point favorite. You're calling it as Colby?
Yeah, I mean it's always hard with the Duke number. It's kind of like the Cowboys, where you think this number is going to be this, and they get so much love from Vegas, and you know it's like Notre Dame in football. It's like the number's always a little bit different than. Yeah,
I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to fade Wake at home. I mean, have they lost a home game yet? I don't think they have.
No, like I said, they're 14-0 at home. They play at the similar defensive rating. I think Duke's like 56th, but Wake is in the 60s. And offensively, you know, Duke has an edge, but not necessarily on the road, especially when Wake's at home. They've really been able to put up a lot of points. So, give me the Deeks. I think they know that if they win this game, they're pretty much punching their ticket, providing they don't lose to a horrible team the remainder of the season.
7.7 percentage points better at the line. Wake is as well. So you don't. Duke's usually not giving up a ton at the line, but against this Wake
team's
team,
not great at the line.
Yeah, at least compared to previous Duke teams. Although it's interesting, I like what I've seen out of Duke in the second half of the season. Be interesting to see the handicap come conference tournament, come actual tournament. But I'm with you here. I think you got to go Wake.
I see what this is. Colby may. I wonder if we're just going to be talking about court storms the entire card. Give me Duke. Wrong team favored. Wrong team favored. I'm gonna open with close with my opener. BYU, so the Super Soakers take to the road to the Little Big Apple in Kansas State. Well, the Cats are catching 2.5 at home here in Manhattan. 11 o'clock on the West Coast. What time zone is this? Central. So this is
Colby, is Kansas State going to make the tournament?
Right now, no. That's why we should take them, because they need to start winning some games. And BYU is 2-5 on the road this season. Jerome Tang, I think they're in a desperate spot. If you don't win this, I don't think. I mean, they should have won a couple nights ago. It was the TCU game.
Yeah,
they let TCU off the hook, and then they've had their struggles this year. Man, they're sitting there at 15-11. The resume is not super strong.
1-7 the last 8. They've really fallen apart here as of late. I mean, I want to take Kansas State because they're the desperate team, but that offense, I don't know, not great. And then, man,
vomit.
Well, it's. I don't want to bet on Kansas State, but I certainly don't want to take BYU on the road either. Like, this is a no-win situation. Although BYU,
but what's the case for Kansas State? I mean,
what Colby's saying, right? Just because they're desperate and they really need this game and they're at home. I mean, that's really the only reason.
Suck on offense. They turn the ball over.
Yeah.
If you're Kansas State, you get this win, and West Virginia is not going to move the needle. They could win that one, but at Cincinnati, at Kansas, and then home to Iowa State, they have some opportunities. Now, it's very unlikely they win in the fog, but they could beat Iowa State. If you put together a resume of BYU, if you take care of business against Dub V, win at Cincy, and then win at home again in Ames against Iowa State, then you might need a little bit of help in the Big 12 tournament. But there's a path. There's still a path. That's why it's a must-win game. Stormwatch has this as a category 2. You still storm,
really?
but top 25 team, top 25 team.
Can't. What are you doing here? You just.
I am with Colby though. Overall, I am taking Kansas State.
I have a hard fade on with the Tang gang right now.
That's
Colby's too close to the situation.
I mean, I'm not locking this game up because I don't want to bet on BYU on the road, and Kansas State in general isn't super appealing. But
this is a decent,
as a home dog, I guess you got to take them.
Kind of a decent matchup for BYU. So your angle is only that BYU has fallen short in some of their road spots.
Almost every one of their road spots.
What UCF was a nice win. Iowa heads to Champaign, Illinois, take on Fighting Illini. Illinois laying 11.5. This one's 11:15 a.m. Look at them trying to get on an island. Iowa's been good to me lately. Colby continuing to get some disrespect here on the road.
Yeah, I mean they won outright against Michigan State. Is this a letdown spot for Iowa, or do they continue a nice run here as a dog?
I mean they're a team fighting for their postseason lives as well. But let's talk about Brad Underwood here being kind of the pussy of the week. And remember, you see Penn State played at their old gym back in the day. Awesome environment, very intimate college basketball experience. And to me, they should do this more. Brad Underwood was going public saying, "Hey, this is nonsense. We shouldn't be playing these games." Bitch, just win the game.
What was the issue?
Why did he not want to play? I mean,
because it's not a normal size arena. You know what I mean?
Why does he care? I mean, like Bryce Jordan Center is a bigger arena. I think are they renovating it or something? They couldn't.
I think they sometimes I don't know what the issue was, but we saw Oklahoma do this once this year too. Sometimes they just do it to get the that experience, kind of a retro throwback.
Disney on Ice was in town.
Could be.
They were double booked, so they had to.
Why does he care? Like, I mean, I understand being upset if you're the road team. Do you want to play an environment with more fans, or I don't know? It seems stupid thing to complain about.
Also,
to me,
why say it out
sells
loud?
better
Like,
on TV.
Do the rims?
Yeah,
Are the rims the same height? Like, what are we talking about?
It sells better on TV. And I agree with Michael Huffer. How about you don't blow a 7-point lead with 40 seconds left? How about you worry about those things and not your environment that you're playing in?
Fortunate to even have a chance there, because that was not a foul at the end there. That was a turnover by Illinois. So I mean, lucky to get that call there. And yeah, I don't know. This is interesting because Illinois is in a bounce back spot. Iowa's coming off a huge outright upset win. You would think take Illinois, but the way Iowa's playing, I think they could keep this a game. What are we doing, Colby?
I'll take the Hawkeyes to cover that number. I mean, I do think Illinois will bounce back and win this game, but just the fact, I kind of like taking the desperate teams in the spot where they have more to play for. Illinois, I mean, yes, you're playing for seeding within the Big Ten. You're playing for seeding in the NCAA tournament, but you're pretty much in. Iowa's playing for their lives. That's why they won at East Lansing, or one of the reasons I would think that. I think, and look, you look back earlier this year, this was a 2-point win by Iowa. Maybe Illinois wants revenge, but I just don't see it being a blowout. Iowa stays within that number.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I like Illinois to bounce back after the loss of Penn State. I think they're going to be fired up. They are a good team at home, but they're not necessarily particularly dominant. ATS 6-7-1. ATS is a home favorite because the lines get pretty inflated. And I was playing clean ball. They don't turn it over a lot. They hit their free throws. Again, almost a full 4 points at the free throw line. They have better than Illinois. I think you take Iowa in the points here.
Confirm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, did you watch? They clearly look like a team that shouldn't be catching this many points. I mean, the way they can score the basketball. I guess your fear is that they just get boat raced, and they have a cold shooting night, and that's that. But yeah, they don't seem to be. They seem to be running hot right now.
Yeah, and this would be their second road game, but
we're going with a mechanical stapler parlay, little swing line special, as going from beating Michigan State to Illinois, a tall task for a team from Iowa. No offense to Iowa. Cincinnati heads to Fort Worth, Texas, to take on the Horned Frogs. Jamie Dixon laying 5.5 points here. I'm a TCU fan at this point. I think I'm all in on TCU until they completely kick me in the nuts in about 6 weeks. Sean, it's only like 4 weeks away. We're that close. Colby?
Yeah, I mean, this TCU team. I think we were talking about this on the TCE show. I think they're even better than last year's TCU team, which I know I had going further. They had some injuries late in the year that kind of hurt that, but. With Jameer Nelson Jr. and Peavy and Emmanuel Miller, this team is really good. Uday, I know he's a game time decision for this game in particular, but I know Cincinnati's the more desperate team, but TCU's playing at an elite level. They're a veteran team. They're 11-2 at home since he's had issues on the road. I just don't see how Cincinnati goes in there and wins this game unless TCU just comes out super flat. But I don't think it will happen. TCU is playing really good basketball right now. I think it's some of the best basketball in the country personally. So I will lay the 5.5 with the Horned Frogs there in Fort Worth.
Yeah, I feel like it's not reflected in the numbers either. But they're still
not ranked, Kramer.
I mean, it's just the one metric you need to know if you're looking at the KenPom page is experience. Third in the country. They just look like a team that's preparing for the moment. And so, yeah, in this kind of spot where they're going to have to take care of business and make a point of it, let's probably laying a big number here, but
yeah, it is a hair high.
Give me TCU.
Cincinnati is good on the road. ATS at least 5-3 ATS on the road.
Yeah, but just look at that free throw percentage, Sean.
No, I know there's Cincinnati sub 70%, which I never want to back as a dog. They are 3rd or 8th in the nation offensive rebounding percentage, which I do like. But yeah, Cincinnati's. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on TCU minus 5.5.
Sean, we need to get a T-shirt that's like those like shirts that are like free someone, but it's free throws.
All right.
Oh come on, that's amazing.
Woo! It's smoking weed.
I'm in.
It's a better idea than the live studio audience reacted. South Carolina, the Gamecocks, they head down to Mississippi, take on the Chris Beards and Ole Miss. The Rebels laying 2.5, 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. I mean, Ole Miss, another team that I feel like when my eyes have found them on the board, they've been doing stuff for me. So I guess I'm going to continue to ride Chris Beard.
Yeah, I mean, look, they just came off the Egg Bowl loss. South Carolina's, third in the SEC right now, and they just had a heartbreaking loss. They blew a 16-point lead. LSU won in Columbia, and the fact that they're having an unbelievable year, but they've far overachieved their what I thought they could do this year, and I was actually high on them in the preseason, but. I think Ole Miss gets them here. The 2.5. It's a revenge game. Ole Miss went down there on February 6th, lost by 3. The fact that Ole Miss had Ole Miss beaten Mississippi State, I thought it was a great spot for South Carolina. But the fact they did not, I think, puts them in a little bit more of a interesting spot. So I'm gonna lay the 2.5 with Ole Miss and Chris Beard. I just think the home environment is pretty much all the difference here, and the fact that South Carolina's starting to get tested. They have more of a bullseye on their back now after such a great season. Before, I think, they were catching teams off guard. Now, they're in the mix to essentially win the SEC. I think Ole Miss comes gunning for them. I'm going to lay the 2.5.
Yeah. I mean, before, South Carolina lost 2 in a row. Before that, they had won 7 in a row. So to your point, but then on the other side, Ole Miss kind of cooled off here too.
It's the same story with South Carolina. If they get hot behind the arc, then they'll make this a game, and if not, I think Mississippi could do the same to them. So let's go, Chris.
Yeah, Ole Miss is pretty good from behind the arc as well. 13th in the nation, 38.3%, and South Carolina's defense behind the 3-point defense not great. I'll take the home dog here. Home favorite.
Eye test. South Carolina doesn't pass the eye test either. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. I watched them very early in the season against my Hokies. North Carolina heads to Charlottesville, where only nice things happen. UVA, the Wahoos. Colby will probably say something about they're gonna win the conference. 1 p.m. on the West Coast. UVA catching 2 at home. You don't see this too often with Mr. Bennett there. Colby, wrong team favored.
Stormwatch in Tiki Torches. Stormwatch going on here.
No storming in there. You got to be
top
careful.
Top 10 team in Charlottesville.
They're actually not allowed to assemble. It's considered a hate crime.
This is a huge game for Virginia. If they win this, I know they got destroyed by Virginia Tech, and I was on Virginia Tech, but
yes.
They're 14-1 at home in what is it, John Paul Jones Arena, and I think their style of play always gives Carolina fits. Look at Carolina's whole run, whether it was Roy Williams, whether it was Hubert Davis. I just feel like Virginia, more so than any team in the ACC, gives them a hard time. Why not? Look, they're a top 15 team in defensive rating for a reason. Their pace is going to completely fuck with North Carolina's, which is a top 25 team in pace. And guess who's one of the bottom 10 in the country? It's UVA. And they just got destroyed by Virginia Tech. I think Virginia knows the moment. I think Virginia is going to upset Carolina at home here. So give me Tony Bennett to bounce back and prove that they're in contention still. I know they still have that Duke game, but they're going to be in the mix still if they win this to essentially play for the 1 seed in the ACC tournament.
I watched this UVA team against Virginia Tech. They suck. They suck.
But
give me
this
UNC.
Really?
I'm out. I'm out on taking UVA and being wrong. You know what the worst thing in the world is? Losing money on those filthy bitches.
Well, this is to Colby's point. I mean, they lost by,
I'm
34 points.
Hubert Davis, let's go.
At Virginia Tech, this is the ultimate bounce back spot. And UVA has been good at home. ATS 9-5-1. They play a defense. I think, like Colby was saying, North Carolina is going to struggle with it. They're the perfect little yapper
Oh,
Yappers shouldn't be storming the court, but give me UVA plus two.
If they storm the court, come on.
How about this? Since 2016, UVA is 9-3 against North Carolina.
Yeah, but this UVA team fucking sucks, dude. They went to Castle Coliseum and they got Melissa Starked. Alabama heads to Lexington.
That is a disgusting.
You realize? Hold on. Let's talk about that. That was an easy handicap because Virginia Tech has no athleticism. So the teams with no athleticism, they're a veteran team. Virginia Tech is. They struggle. They don't struggle as much. It's the teams like Carolina with a ton of athleticism that run up the court. That really struggle when you play this style of team. I think that's why Virginia has success in the ACC.
By the way, if you remember, Colby gave out a turnover prop. I suggested a rebound prop. Colby was wrong. I was right. So, yeah, this team just fucking sucks. I hear you. This team just sucks. And this North Carolina team, as much as I love to hate North Carolina, I think they're also going in the bucket with TCU of teams I'll probably looking to bet on in the tourney. Alabama, Nate Oates. Any more rumors about him going to another job? He's heading to Lexington, Kentucky here. Big time used cars salesman recruiting trip here as heading to Coach Cal's land. Kentucky laying a point here. They were impressive. We saw Kentucky take care of Auburn in the jungle. Was kind of never in doubt. As you handicapped, Colby, the athletes showed up and they got it done in a very, very difficult environment. Now they're at home taking on a team that continually shows they can show up all over the map. Although lately they have been good. They did really, really hand it to Buzz. I'm really sad about Buzz. I don't even know what to say at his funeral. It's not looking good. So Kentucky laying one, Colby. What are we doing?
I mean, Alabama should have lost to Florida last night. They got very fortunate to win that game. This is where it catches up to them. Kentucky just loses at the buzzer. They come back home. I know they've had their struggles at Rupp this year. Alabama's first in the nation in offensive rating. Surprise, surprise, running that Paul Westhead offense. I feel like it's top 10 every friggin' year.
Colby hates it.
No, I mean, look, it works. I understand it. If you're Alabama, you're like, hey, it's going to get us to the tournament. They weren't making the tournament since the days of Robert Horry and Latrell Sprewell and stuff. So it makes sense. But at the same time, I think it catches up to them. And I think it catches up to them right here. I think Kentucky makes a statement that they are still in the mix for an SEC championship when that tournament starts. Kentucky gets it done. They're a better team. Kentucky actually, look, they're inconsistent because they're youth. But I believe Kentucky has a better roster than Alabama. Kentucky beats them.
This should be a great game. I mean, I understand wanting to fade Alabama after that OT win over Florida. I understand wanting to ride this Kentucky team in a bounce back spot after they lost to LSU at the buzzer. That being said, I'm taking Alabama and that offense. I know it's easy to make fun of, but also very good from the line, 79.1%. And this Alabama team, I think, I don't know. They're a pretty interesting team overall. I think they get it done. I see the case for Kentucky. I just think this is not as easy of a matchup as you would imagine for Kentucky at home. So I think Alabama gets it done.
Yeah, I don't know. Kentucky showed me something. I'm gonna be a donkey. Take Kentucky.
It's Dominic the Donkey.
Kramer and I on Alabama, the Crimson Tide.
No, I'm on Kentucky.
Oh, you are.
I said they showed me something.
Did he?
Colby, what's going on over here?
Colby, did he not just say Alabama showed me something, or am I mishearing?
No, he said Kentucky showed me something.
Okay. Thank you, Colby.
But anytime you can crowbar that song, it's a win.
Everyone loves Dominic the Donkey. Hey, speaking of animals, have you guys signed up over at underdogfantasy.com yet? Use the promo code SGPN, get the 100% deposit match. And from now until the end of the month, if you go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/dog, you can enter our bonus contest. So we're going to be picking 5 winners. Each winner gets a hat, a t-shirt, Underdog hat, Underdog t-shirt, and $50 SGPN gift card. So nice prize back there. Motivate you to get in on the action between now and the end of the month. Colby.
That's like 2 days of laundry. Like we're helping you out really big time.
Wait, 2 days of laundry?
Well, like we're giving you 2 shirts.
Oh, okay.
Basically,
you can buy a shirt.
Yeah, we got you covered. That's like 2/5 of the work week.
I gotcha. Colby, what do we like for some college basketball pick'em?
I will. I'll take you to that Minnesota Ohio State game that you have action on. Green. Dawson Garcia, the former North Carolina Tar Heel and Marquette Golden Eagle, he has been balling out for Minnesota. So when I see 17.5 points as his higher or lower, I like the higher with Dawson Garcia.
But to be clear, you are on Ohio State, right?
Yeah, but he's their best player.
What's the number? 17.5.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on it because I like
player.
the Gophers here. It's Ohio State's gonna. I mean, you may as well call her the prom queen because they're gonna lay down tonight.
Well, let's adjust now. Do we want to pivot to the first half? 7.5 points.
Oh, do they come out?
Oh, I like that too. I like that.
Just saying, Colby's not always right, so maybe a slight tweak.
All right. I'll let's switch it. We'll go 7.5 first half
all right,
points.
Nice. What's your next idea, Colby?
My next idea is Zach Edey just getting busy after Purdue got their ass whooped in Columbus. They play Rutgers tonight. Now, I will say that Rutgers has some athletic bigs that might be able to give them a fit from an offensive standpoint, but not from a rebounding standpoint. Give me the higher 13.5 boards for Zach Edey.
Yeah. Okay.
So wait, you're going higher rebounds for Edey?
Yeah. Or if you guys want, we could go lower on 20.5 because Rutgers bigs can play defense.
I don't know. What do you think, Kramer?
I think we just go with the rebounds.
Higher. All right. Zach Edey higher 13.5 rebounds. Dawson Garcia higher.
Wait. What about 15.5 rebounds and assists?
He hasn't passed in a couple years.
Okay, got it. All right. All right. 13.5 rebounds it is.
Higher Zach Edey 13.5 rebounds. Dawson Garcia higher 7.5 first half points. That pays out 3-1 over on UnderdogFantasy.com. Promo code SGPN and SportsGamblingPodcast.com/dog to get in on the bonus contest. Kramer.
All right. Remember, 2 days of shirts, basically hooking you up. Oklahoma heading to Stillwater, Oklahoma to take on the Pokes. Oklahoma State catching 2 at home here. I mean, Oklahoma is a much better team. Certainly, you're going to tell me this spread stinks a little bit, right?
First off, Oklahoma State has turned a corner. They should have won in Norman 3 games ago. They played on February 10th. Oklahoma somehow came back, won that thing 66-62. But look, since then, Oklahoma State has taken down. They took down BYU by double digits in Stillwater. They just went to Cincinnati, and if you listen to the college basketball experience, we had them as 10.5 point dogs on the money line, and they won. This team, and this is the final time they ever go to Stillwater. Stormwatch alive and well. Stormwatch alive. We got a category 7 over here. Yeah, dude, go Pokes all day. They're gonna fuck them up.
All right, with the Cole, how has the this is the last time they're playing trend been, Chunks? I feel like Colby
it worked in football. What happened there, huh?
Oklahoma State 68.6% from the line. Oklahoma 74.3. Are we worried about that, Colby?
No, and you should also be worried that John Hughley of Oklahoma and Rivaldo Soares both game time decisions.
We still haven't received confirmation that Porter Moser has reached out to Sister Jean to mend old fences.
Oklahoma's 2-4 on the road. And I'm telling you, Mike Boynton does this every year. Oklahoma State struggles in the beginning of the season. Towards the end of the year, they make a late push. And look at this. I mean, look at like their last what? I mean, the Houston game they got blown out. But you look, it's basically since February. Since February, they beat Kansas State. They got blown out at Houston, but so everyone would. They should have won in Norman. They beat BYU by 10, and then they go to Cincinnati and win as a 10.5 point dogs.
Kind of seeing.
I mean,
this
is just the ultimate revenge spot for Oklahoma State. Even though they don't hit free throws, I'm with you. And I think this line will. I'm not disagreeing with your line, but I think we'll be able to get 2.5, 3. So, but
Really?
either way, I still like it at 2.
That's awesome. How charitable you were with your CLV there. You said it doesn't matter. I'm with you. Doesn't matter. Wrong team favorite. Give me Oklahoma State.
Wow.
Porter Moser, call Sister Jean back. God damn. Texas heads to Lawrence, Kansas, where Kansas is laying 6.5. 3 p.m. on the West Coast. Does Ashley Judd still go to the games here?
She's a Kentucky fan, buddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong blue team.
Yeah.
Got it. My bad. I'll turn off TMZ now.
Do you know who Bill Snyder is?
He was the football coach down there at Baylor, right? Oh no, it's happening again. Yeah, he doesn't even respond to Bill Snyder anymore. He's blocked it out. It's like a dark moment.
He's a Kansas State head football coach.
It's a dark moment in his past.
This is the same situation, but I think maybe even more of a home run.
Oh boy, here we go. Orange down.
Yes, this is Texas. The final time they're not going to schedule a game at Kansas in the future, right? You realize that they're not going to do that, and if you're Kansas, your money, your yearly amount of money is going to go way down because of the loss of Texas and Oklahoma.
These kids are pissed about that, by the way. They're going to play extra hard.
Hey, you're stealing our Big 12 TV dollars.
Maybe you don't know about the old handshake $100 bill situation. All right.
Oh,
you're telling me that Kansas isn't gonna that their NIL? They'll put some type of thing together. Hey, you beat Texas. You beat Texas by 20. Here's an extra 10 grand
for unlimited meal pass for Kansas kids.
Oh yeah. I mean, the state of Kansas, they're probably dipping into some resources here to make sure these kids stick around. I'm horns down, right? We gotta take the horns down.
I think you're getting a slight discount on a Kansas team that the market sees as below average compared to previous Kansas teams. But that being said, they are still a very tough out at home. Even though they're only 5-6-1 ATS, I think this is the sweet spot for them. And their defense is Kansas defense, I think, is going to be the star of the game. So yeah, I think they can limit Texas's shots, make them play inefficient offense, and get the win and get the cover.
Is our boy Max Akesmith healthy, Colby?
Yes, as far as I know.
Can't give him 6.5 points then. Not against this team. Not against. I'm taking the. Give me horns down. Remember, we renamed Texas the horns down to make it extremely confusing to handicap their game. So I'm taking horns down. No, I'm on Texas. Horns down. Horns down.
So you're on Texas.
Horns down in a positive. Yeah, Texas horns downs.
Why do you like Texas?
I don't want to fade Max Akesmith. Every time I fade this dude, he's amazing.
I think
he has a matchup he can exploit against the guards of Kansas. I think the 3-point line is a lazy point of Bill Self's defense at this point. And again, I don't want to fade Max Akesmith in a primetime spot. The dude's he's got onions, and you're going to regret it when he's getting that cover. Colorado State. Oh, I love it. Getting the Mountain West on the slate, which, by the way, Sean, we have not found that spot to swap in a game. Maybe it wasn't as easy as we thought. We should have gotten South Carolina Ole Miss off there. We missed our opportunity. Colorado State heads to Vegas to take on UNLV. UNLV laying a point here. Colorado State, a bit of a home road situation where you got to take them at home, fade them on the road. Or is it that simple, Colby?
No. Look, UNLV, they cashed for me last night as they destroyed Air Force, but you're coming off a 30-point revenge game win, and Colorado State at the same time, man, they got their heart broken at the pit. They played really well. They were in that game. New Mexico basically won on a buzzer beater. And to me, Colorado State still has they have a lot of guys that were on the tournament run a couple years ago. So to me, they're a much more of a veteran team. UNLV's had problems at home. They lost by 35 or something to Air Force. Southern out of the SWAC came in there and bit them. And then to me, Isaiah Stevens, best guy on the court. And don't forget that Colorado State did win at Creighton earlier this year. They've had some good wins on the road. Yes, they've had some struggles lately. I think they bounced back. I think they're better than UNLV. Give me the Rams. Ram it.
Yeah, they even though they didn't win against the Lobos. So I thought they played a really good game and played super hard there, especially towards the end. And we've seen this UNLV team anytime they have any real competition, they seem to fold. Fair, they don't seem to do well against top tier competition. Now, the New Mexico road win throws you off the scent a little bit with UNLV because they, winning at New Mexico was a crazy win for them. But in general, against quality teams, even at home, they have struggled. So I like Colorado State here. I like them a lot. Give me the Rams +1.
Yeah, I mean, one of those times was Colorado State earlier in the season, but that was a close game. Kind of, my instincts tell me that you got to lay the points here, but it also seems like UNLV should be a home dog. So I'm torn.
Yeah, I mean, UNLV does have the revenge going for them, but Colorado State's playing pretty good ball right now. I'm not looking to fade them.
Wrong team favored. Also, Colorado State is just a classic college basketball team to bet on because you'll be watching the game like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Run a little bit of offense, please. Villanova, another game we can't pull out here. Villanova heads to beautiful Stores, Connecticut. I mean, again, the fact that this has turned into a basketball power is impressive, and also their streak of road losses is equal against ranked teams, equally as impressive. 5 p.m. on the West Coast here. UConn laying 10.5 back in the friendly confines against Nova. That was an astonishing trend I saw on the broadcast. So now 20 straight road losses against ranked teams. I mean, and you're supposed to be some sort of elite program. That's the same stat as Colby's been touting with some of those SEC teams not taking to the road to take on anyone. Come on, Dan, you're better than that. UConn laying the points though here, obviously, right?
I mean, Villanova's red hot, won 3 in a row. I'll say this: if Villanova, they lost by 1 to UConn on January 20th. If Villanova was to somehow come in here and win this game, you could stamp them in the fucking March. But I'm with you. I think you got to lay it. I think the fact that UConn just got drilled at home and the style of ball that Nova plays. I know it was a 1-point game on January 20th, but I just think UConn's height can be a problem for Nova.
They play UConn's game. I mean, they play into UConn's strengths. It's not
don't
great.
let the Cats get hot. Give me Villanova and the points. I see how you could talk yourself into Hurley in the bounce back spot and just avoid the fact that Villanova is the best free throw shooting team in the nation.
Oh boy, of course, yeah. Free throws.
Well, you're getting 10.5 points. I get, UConn should bounce back, yada yada. But perfect example. They lost at Kansas and then in a neutral only beat North Carolina by 10 the following. Similar situation. They lost at Seton Hall, only beat St. John's at home by 4. I don't know if the bounce back is as big as you might expect. So I'm going to give Villanova the big number. You can't give the Cats double digits. Let's go. Villanova covers.
Okay. That was pretty obvious. Yeah. I mean, I think I do. Colby nailed it. Villanova is going to play right into UConn's hands. And again, think about this angry little guy after getting embarrassed like that. They go all the way to Nebraska. He's got to pull the bus over 3 different times because they just brought 0 effort. What do you think there is any sort of physical punishment at the stadium before they left Nebraska? Colby.
I mean, Dan Hurley, maybe he beat the shit out of that fan, waited for him to come outside.
That was great.
Yeah,
that's what sports are all about.
Honestly, like that actually would be Colby. If you were to get in an altercation with Dan Hurley, that would be one of the most electric things you could do. Imagine video of just you get catching him right across the fucking jaw, knocking his ass out. How great would that be? You'd be a fucking legend. 5 p.m. on the West Coast, Texas A&M. Why do we keep talking about Buzz? And this, at this point, he's a freight train that's already the locomotive has already run over the person tied to the track.
He's already dead.
And now we're just watching like train cars being pulled through this carcass. Texas A&M catching 12 points on the road here against Rick Barnes in Knoxville, who will certainly see this as an opportunity to flex to his boosters against the richest Saudi-backed collective in the SEC. Tennessee laying 12 to me. I love the chalk here. Definitely taking this. Sorry, Buzz. Again, probably a spot on Mike Young's bench if you want to come back and be an assistant to get started.
I'm going to take a shot on the points. I know A&M beat them by 16 last time they played.
Oh yeah, exactly.
I think I know you could say that for the revenge factor, but I just think I know Tennessee's 12-1 at home. I just think A&M can stay in this game. I don't think they're as bad as their recent performances. Maybe Tennessee still wins the game, but it's just too many points. It wouldn't shock me if A&M. This is a 1-possession game with 2 minutes left. So give me the Aggies to fight hard there in Knoxville plus the points.
I mean, I just can't back Texas A&M. You lose to Vanderbilt, you get destroyed by Alabama. You lose to Arkansas by 7 points at home. I'm just out. I'm out of.
Can
the
we get
experience.
one more buzz saw? Could be the end. We need to get the oil.
It's like a lawnmower that won't start.
No.
I just can't back Texas A&M at any number right now. Like maybe things change, but I think Tennessee rolls here in a big way. Hey, have you guys signed up? Hall of Fame Bets. Use the promo code SGPN. Get 50% off your first month. Getting some optimized NBA parlays, even soccer as well. Player prop parlays, game parlays, whatever it is. Hall of Fame Bets helps you bet smarter, not harder. Use the promo code SGPN over at HOFBets.com or download the Hall of Fame Bets app. Makes it super easy to get going. And again, 50% off your first month. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Bet smarter, not harder with Hall of Fame Bets.
Let's go. All right. 2 more and maybe one bonus one if we don't have anywhere to put it. Butler heads to Newark, New Jersey to take on Seton Hall. The Pirates are laying 4.5 at home here. 8:30 local time. It seems like this would be pretty lit, Colby, on a Saturday. Shout out to the grease trucks. Speaking of RIP, they no longer exist, but nice little 30-minute drive down from the Rutgers campus. Get over to Seton Hall in time to watch the game. Butler has been a team that I feel like all of us have been missing on the season. At least for sure, me not knowing when to back them or fade them. So my default here is to take the chalky New Jersey team. I do think your spread is probably a little steep too. So I'm paying a premium, but I guess I got to take him. I mean, I still like the coaching situation. I mean, he does seem like he uses the gym more than his players, but I appreciate that. He's looking to stay swole, taking advantage of the opportunity.
I think everyone's going to be on Seton Hall. I'm going to die hard. This is Die Hard 3 in New York City with Samuel Jackson here. I'm dying hard. Butler has burned me the past 2 times. All right. Yeah. This is Die Hard 3, Sean. We're figuring out fucking the water algorithm thing that he's got, with all that water shit, Central Park. Let's go.
I just don't think, I think this is, to me, the handicap is simple, that it's a 1-possession game. And I'm taking Butler in the points. I think they're both pretty evenly matched. I know Butler coming in cool here, losing 3 in a row, but I think that's why you're getting a slightly inflated number here. I think everyone's going to be on Seton Hall, as Colby points out, and I think this is the time you hop on Butler in the points.
I mean, it wouldn't be shocking if everyone followed my release. If I were to release,
you have to know when to come.
Hypothetically,
Ryan's releases always get followed.
Set up. I'm setting up a release. I'm getting ready to release. All right, last game.
Little Pac-12 action.
So I guess we're not talking about Patino.
No.
Utah heads to Boulder, Colorado. Why are we talking about this game? 6 p.m. on the West Coast. Utah catching 4.5 here in Boulder. Colby's favorite team is Colorado. I'm guessing that's why we're talking about it.
Well, I mean, both teams are strictly on the bubble. So I mean, it's actually probably bigger than almost every game on the slate. As far as that, you know,
Ryan, do you even know ball?
Yeah. Like we know Kansas and Texas are in, you know what I mean? But with Utah and Colorado, they're playing for their fucking postseason life here. That's why the game's compelling, but it's okay. You know, it's like I said, you know, some snorkel, some scuba dive. You know, I see you up there at the top of the water. You
get
know?
that music available. It's always upbringing. Oh no, you don't have the snork music.
Oh. No snork.
Well, we need to. It's college basketball season, Sean.
There you go.
Hey, give me that one more time.
Snork.
Oh, is that Colby?
Yes. All over the Buffs here. Do you see how Utah just won? They won at the buzzer at UCLA. I think Colorado's going to destroy them. I think it's going to be like a 20-point win for the Buffs. They're 13-1 at home, and they lost their last home game to Arizona. No. Colorado's going to fuck up Utah.
This is triple overtime against Arizona.
Tough spot for Utah as well, as this is their third road game.
Yeah, in a row. Well, they do. I mean, they do the back-to-back. So it was a road trip to Los Angeles too. So you know, there's probably a little bit of a hangover going on there. Maybe that I mean, I've only heard rumors about this, but I know when the kids from Boulder would come out to California, they often would go back carrying a little bit extra weight, if you know what I mean. So
smoking my weed.
I could see why this would. Yeah, Utah. There's also revenge here. I mean, Utah did beat Colorado a couple weeks back on their home turf,
and there's also, I'd be remiss not to mention the insane difference in free throw percentage.
Oh no,
Colorado 78.6, Utah 64.9. That is not going to get it done on the road.
Is there a good like free Britney logo we could use for free throws? We're making this. It could be a blanket. We can have a free throw. There you go. It's a throw blanket, Sean. We're really expanding this. Your love of free throws. I guess we'll follow Colby into the darkness here and take his Buffs, even though they have a bison as a mascot. Still one of the more confusing things in sport. When do we meet on the field, bro? I've actually, you know, my sister is a graduate of Boulder, so shout out to the Fighting Bisons. All right, I'm ready to go.
All right, time for our best bets for Saturday, February 24th. Talking college hoops. Kramer, you're on the clock. What do you like?
You always make me go first. First up, I think Colby is right that we have a storm warning early in the Waco, Texas area. Give me Baylor plus the points. For my second lock, give me Kentucky. They showed me something in that last game. I think this team's locked in, and certainly in the bucket of teams I'd like to be getting involved with come March. For my dog, I like everything Colby said about the Oklahoma State situation. It's a short dog. Give me the 2 points. Give me what we'll say a plus little 120 money line there. Love the situation. Send Porter Moser out with a nice boot up his ass for not calling Sister Jean back.
Oklahoma State small money line dog there. Kentucky laying 1, Baylor +5. For me, we're gonna call this the Rocky Mountain High lock combo. Give me Colorado State catching a point at UNLV, and give me the Buffs laying 4.5 at home. Desperate team in Colorado need that. As I mentioned, the free throw discrepancy is crazy. Colorado State, I think, shows up in a big way. Just love the way they're playing. I mean, they didn't get the win against New Mexico, but they went toe to toe with a very tough Lobos team. No one goes in to the pit and gets the win, but they got to cover and almost won that game outright. I think the Rebs are going to have their hands full. Now, as far as the money line dog, I'm going to say Butler on the money line. I just don't. This to me game feels way closer to 50-50. Butler Seton Hall. I just don't think Seton Hall should be laying this much. I think Butler is due for a get right game. I'll take them on the money line to win outright. Give me Butler as a dog. Colorado State +1 and Colorado -4.5. Colby.
We are locking up the Buffs -4.5. They're going to win by 1,000. Second lock is Kansas -6.5. Horns down. Ooh. Texas ain't gonna look. This is a strictly this whole Saturday future Big 12 play. The Buffs going back home, starting next season. Kansas will be there, and then Oklahoma State's going to tell those pussies leaving that good luck being the next Arkansas. So Oklahoma State money line play against the Sooners, the filthy Sooners.
I do think it helps them in the basketball world.
So what do we any group parlays we like here, gentlemen?
I mean, I don't mind. I was gonna ask if has anyone ever had a Rocky Mountain oyster? We could do a.
Ooh,
is that on Urban Dictionary?
That is those are fried bull balls.
Wasn't it a sheep testicle?
Oh, I thought it was a bull.
I think it's a sheep testicle. Maybe I'm wrong.
We're all on Oklahoma State. We're all on Colorado.
We're all on Colorado State,
and we're all on Ole Miss.
So I mean, Ole Miss is dicey though. We don't need to go to Ole Miss.
So we're going Colorado State. Sorry, what else? Colorado State.
I like the idea of Colorado State, and Oklahoma State.
Okay. I like Oklahoma State.
Feels like a good old like I don't know, dude ranch vibe. Like we're riding a horse. Maybe we're smoking some hand rolled tobacco.
So official parlay: Colorado State +1, Colorado -4.5, Oklahoma State money line, or do we take the points?
And we just spotted
money
a sheep
line.
All right,
and now we're gonna have some sheep balls.
Let's go now. Yes, let's real quick. Rocky,
you don't eat them raw, right? They cook because regular oysters you eat raw. Okay, we're gonna have to look into this because raw
it's a dish
sheep
made of bull testicles.
All right,
the organs are often deep fried after being skinned, coated in flour and pepper, and salted, sometimes pounded flat. Oh, this just sounds. They really look like bull's testicles too. Like,
what are you setting? What are you setting the over under on court storms on Saturday, Sean?
Ooh, court storm of the games we discussed, or just total?
Total.
I'm going to set at 3.5.
Because like Detroit Mercy counted as a storm, right?
Yes. Well, that was a drizzle. I mean, one guy running out. I don't know if that necessarily counts as a court storm, but I'll say 3.5 court storms.
Over under. What are you taking, Kramer?
Over. It's Saturday. The kids are getting hyphy. All right. Other names for Rocky Mountain oysters: prairie oysters, mountain tenders, calf fries, and my favorite, cowboy caviar.
Oh God.
That is a disgusting.
The internet is fucking awesome.
All right. Toss us a nice rating review over on Apple Podcasts and get in on the Underdog contest, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/dog.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Thank you, internet. Be wary of the cowboy who makes you meatballs.
Kramer, let it ride.